Hey there and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm excited to be doing my next speed build video. I hope you enjoyed the last one, which was a base game and dream home decorator build. I'd never done a build quite like that before, where I challenged myself to build only using content from base game and a pack, so it was a lot of fun trying to push myself a little bit in that video. There'll be a link in the card and in the description below if you have not already checked that out. But in today's video, pretty much what I'm going to be doing is building a cottage bungalow style house, pretty much inspired by the upcoming Cottage Living Pack. I've built a house like this before, but I wanted to give it another go and see what I could really, achieve now with the newer pack content, and I would hesitate to say a more developed building ability now. This is about one of the only times ever I think you will ever see me build using just a square box house. My houses that I build tend to take a shape of some kind and not just be a square. They normally have some kind of, divots in them and cutouts and things of that nature, but this one did not. Throughout this house, you'll see me predominantly using a lot of content from Laundry Day and Cats and Dogs. Cats and Dogs is obviously a huge cottagey, farmhousey style pack, and I knew I wanted to use a bunch of the stuff that came with that pack when I was setting up this house. As you could probably see throughout this video, I really struggled with the roof. I had to cut out a bunch of the recording actually because of how much I struggled with the roof. I went and fixed up the roof off recording because I actually went and looked up how to fix it because I just didn't know how to fix it just while I was recording, which made me just very unhappy. I tried to include a skylight in this build over the living room, but it just simply, I could not get it. And then I opened TikTok about an hour or two after filming it, and I found exactly how to do the skylight I wanted to do. So hopefully in my next build will feature a skylight of some kind. I'm really excited and really looking forward to cottage living, and that's kind of why I wanted to build a cottage style house. I had a look on Google just to see what kind of cottage houses appeared and whatnot, and this was kind of a more modern cottage kind of bungalow house. Also, quickly to note, the fences you see on the porch is my favorite fence in the game. Anytime I'm building a stairs, because it's obviously a stair rail option, or a porched area that's covered in a fence, I'm always using that exact fence from Seasons. I really need to push myself and try to use different fences, but I just like that one way too much. Bringing it back to the talk I had a second ago about Cats and Dogs, this is in Brindleton Bay. I absolutely love the world of Brindleton Bay for this kind of cottagey build. Especially this hindquarter hideaway lot I've built here in the past, and I've actually built a house in another save file that's pretty much not the same, but it's the same style on this lot. I didn't actually realize when I first started building this one you're seeing in this video today that they were actually the same lot, but here they are, they're the same lot. As always, this house will be going up on my gallery page once this video has gone live. You can find it on my gallery ID, which is on the screen at the moment, and it will be in the description down below. As per usual with all of my build videos, leave a comment down below if you have a suggestion for a house or style of house you'd like to see me build, or a general Sims video that you'd like to see me do, because I'm always open to feedback and suggestions of any kind. This house took me a little bit longer to build as a result of the fact that I struggled really hard with the roof this time around. I try not to invest too much time into the roof because it's not something, that people really care about. But when I was looking up other Sims creators' builds, the roof really did make a lot of builds stand out. In my builds, it's just the classic gabled roof and that's it. So I wanted to try and, if I could, push myself a little bit to create something that was different. Also in this build, you will notice that I actually started in the reverse to what I did it in my dream home decorator build. This time I started with the front exterior of the house and finishing the exterior off pretty much, and then working on the interior. Normally when I build a house, I'll build the bones of it, meaning the walls, the porch, and fence it in and whatnot, and that would be all I'd do on the exterior, and I'd do the internal first. But I thought, I've got this specific picture in my mind, and I don't want to forget what this picture looks like, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. And that's exactly what I did with this house. This house is 1 bedroom, 2 bath. It was originally only going to be 1 bed, 1 bath, but I made the bathroom just a little bit too big. So I split the bathroom into 2. One of the bathrooms you could easily change into a spare or a guest bedroom if you don't want 2 bathrooms. But as with all of my houses, I'm happy with how this thing turned out. I really do like this style. And this is something as well that I raised in the other video of the dream home decorator build, that I tried to use a lot of, a black color as a dominant color in the house. And this is kind of a build that you would normally see me do with a more muted kind of color, I guess you'd say, beiges, white, cream, light blues, things of that color I would usually build with. And as this build progresses, you'll be able to see further and further to that it's what I like to build with. This is one of the only houses I think ever that I've actually included a laundry with. This is actually designed as a mud room. A mud room, for those who don't know what a mud room is a room of the house where you would enter and would wipe your feet or dump your dirty clothes or boots in. And it's usually got a laundry attached to it as well. I'd never really built a mudroom before. I've built plenty of laundries in my times, but I'd never built a mudroom before. So it was interesting to see and try and build something different this time. But when I was building this, I was trying to keep in mind that, who's going to live in this house? It's most likely going to be somebody maybe a little older, looking maybe at retirement or something like that, or a single sim just kind of living on their own and just enjoying life. I'd love to know what you think of this build. Let me know in the comments section below. When I said that this was inspired by Cottage Living, obviously the builds that you saw in the Cottage Living trailer are not the exact same as this kind of house that you're seeing at the moment. This is very, very different. You see like the straw kind of roofs in the Cottage Living trailer. I didn't want that far of a cottage style build. I wanted a modern day style of cottage. The only room I think I'm unhappy with in this house, well, I'm not unhappy with, I think I could have done better in, is the bedroom in the house. The bedroom is, don't get me wrong, good, but I don't think it's the best that I could have done, and it's certainly not my favorite bedroom. I love everything else in this house. I especially love that front, great room, I guess you'd call it, with the lounge room, the dining room, and the kitchen. I really, really like that. I tried to put into effect some things that TikTok taught me about building, such as with the shower. I learned how to do that and make like a proper realistic looking shower through TikTok, and I love building showers that look like that. Normally I'd use a glass window, and I believe I use a glass window in the other bathroom in the house off the master bedroom. But this time I wanted to use the window from Snowy Escape, but unfortunately, because the walls weren't big enough, I couldn't use the exact window I had in mind. And making the walls medium height in this house didn't make a lot of sense. So I stuck with the smaller height just to kind of give it, that comfy, cozy cottage living kind of vibe. I didn't want to include too much in the backyard of the house or the front yard of the house. The only thing in the front yard of the house is a swing, and then the porch, and the backyard's got a clothesline and a seating area. I didn't want to go too harsh with it, because one thing that I really do like about cottage style bungalow builds is the fact that they're just so minimal in the exterior space. You really get to take in the area around it, I guess you could say. And that was really, really what I wanted with this build. But I think this is where I am going to leave you with the rest of the video. I don't believe there is very much long left in this build. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd love to have you a part of this great old community. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your time zone. And until next time, bye-bye.